Hello everybody, my name is Insidine, and sorry I'm moving my mic around here. Just gotta get it positioned. Yep, there we go. Right in front of my face, and I just blew a ton of air into it there. That should be good. Yeah, the audio quality of this video probably will be a bit better. I've taken out most of the white noise. I started using Audacity. I downloaded a while ago. But I never really figured out how to use it, and I finally did that, so I now know how to get rid of the static zzz that is in my videos, because I don't have a PC headset. I'm using an Xbox One on my PC. It's the Turtle Beach X11s, which aren't that great for Xbox in the first place, but they're good. And I think I'm getting a new headset sometime soon. So, you may be wondering, what is this? This is my latest project. This should only be a one episode thing, but it's something that will carry over into a bunch of different episodes because of the use of it. And the use of it is, it's kind of like a Minecraft Death Games building. Except, like, it's the same, like, Death Games kind of concept, but a bit different. So, the idea behind it is, instead of having the person who's in the chest be the one who's being hunted, they are the hunter. And I've decided to name this the Fear the Night, thing, which is, it's kind of based on this other game that I've been, map that I've been making for a little while now, which is called Fear the Demon. And Fear the Demon is more or less, it's the same concept except not the night. I just had to do it the night so that it's not constant killing. But it's basically, what's going to happen is there will be one person who gets selected. I'm just going to throw glowstone. Those are going to need to be changed into lamps, but they can be glowstone for now. But yeah, so basically one person, I think this is supposed to be this. Oops, no. This. Yeah, that looks better. Or maybe it's this. This is a silk touch pick. I'm using it because there's a lot of stone involved with this build. There we go, and then now it's going to be the cobble. But yeah, so the concept behind it is these are going to be redstone lamps, and I'm going to use like the same kind of redstone as Etho's Death Games. It's pretty compact, but what it's going to be is every time it turns to night, there will be a new person selected, so every night there's a different person, and these redstone lamps, once I change them to lamps, will turn on, marking the start of the killing night. So you can go, if your name's in here, you can go and kill anybody else who is participating, and there will be a chest next to it here that will just have everyone who's participating's name in it. And if you want to, you can take your own name out, but I'm going to make that cost a fee, most likely. So, yeah. But yeah, I think that'll be a fun game. It'll kind of get everyone on the server a little bit more involved with each other, I hope. Because right now it seems like I don't think I've seen another player. Like, I've been on at the same time, but I haven't seen like someone walking around in a while. So there's that. And yeah, so I've built this half of the building over here. It's kind of medievally, not really, but yeah, there's that. I've got a bit of, I need to smelt up another stack of cobble. so that I can make more stone bricks here. Give me this, and boop, boop, and yeah, there we go. So one of the topics that I kind of want to talk about this episode is, oh, there's the rest of my stone. I'd cooked it up. That's not stealing. Don't worry. See, they're all marked with 27. I used my own coal. I'm not mean. I used my own supplies. But yeah, so one of the things that I kind of want to talk about this episode is depression. So, I know it's kind of a very serious topic, and I just kind of need to talk about it. So, depression, I've been depressed for a while, and in my opinion, it's kind of something that's different for everybody who it affects, because you kind of have like the standard clinical depression, which has all like the symptoms that are marked out, but a lot of times people will kind of experience different feelings than that. And yeah, so like, I think one of the main, probably the best thing to do is find someone who you're comfortable talking about it with. Like, and if you have a friend who you kind of know is depressed, just go, like, see if they want to talk to you about it. Don't, like, just ask them, but just try to be friendly with them. Make them feel, like, comfortable around you so that you can kind of help them through it. I think that's a very important thing to do. So, we need this. Yeah, and where does this go? But yeah, I think, like, one of the biggest things is just having people there for you. Because, like, depression a lot of the time can lead to suicidal actions and thoughts. I'm not going to get too much into my own personal experiences, but yeah, like, it can lead to that, so it's really good to get, like, someone to talk to before you make any dumb decisions, because, like, yeah, I don't really know how to talk about this too well, but yeah, just finding someone to talk to about it is probably the best thing you can do for yourself. It'll really help you out. Like, it'll make you just feel a ton better. And you'll just feel like you have someone there who will kind of always be there if you need them. And it just gives you, it just makes you feel more important, because like, with depression you can kind of feel like, oh, nobody cares about me, I'm not important to people, but you gotta kind of realize that you are. Did I do this side back here? No. Okay, so it's just one right here. Yeah, so that's one of the really big things. And then another big thing is, like, social things, social interactions. This is more social anxiety related than depression. And yeah, so social anxiety is something else that can be really bad. It's like, yeah, it's really, it's different from person to person again. And what I mean by different from person to person with this stuff is, like, people are always going to have different experiences, so, like, if you're going and looking for someone to kind of relate to you, it's really hard to find, because your experience could be completely different to other people. And yeah, so it'll be hard to find someone who can really relate to you a lot of the time. So you need to be comfortable talking to someone about it. And another thing that I find important is just kind of thinking about yourself and really thinking about like the future of yourself, because there's the generic term permanent solution to a temporary problem about depression. And I know that some problems may be more permanent, but you kind of always have a opportunity to overcome them. I feel like you're gonna have a chance eventually where you can just kind of go and be, alright, well, this has been just, I'm taking some of Wilson's food. I'm gonna give him a bunch back, but yeah, just kind of, what's I talking? Yeah, even if your problem feels permanent, that's why I wanted to talk about social anxiety, because it really makes you feel like I'm gonna have these social issues for life. I'm never gonna be able to make friends. I am stuck like this. This is my life. Dang it. Yeah, and a lot of the time it can be true, but it also depends, because social anxiety is something that you have to overcome yourself. I think this is all based on my opinion and some of my own experiences. And yeah, you just kind of gotta go and just think about yourself, alright, this is something, you're at a party and you're just kind of standing in the corner and you see someone and you're just thinking, I would go talk to them, but I feel like they aren't gonna want to talk to me. Just go talk to them, unless the person is a complete jerk or you've done something to make them absolutely kind of hate you. They'll be happy to talk to you just about anything. It's the sports game that happened last week. They'll talk to you about it. There's a lot of stuff. So you gotta kind of overcome stuff like that yourself. And you can get friends to help you do it too. But it's not something that's going to just one day, I have confidence now. Yay. You have to work for it. And also, oops, I need to go place stuff up there. One of the things that, this is kind of more me related, but there can also be kind of physical barriers that you can be kind of feel held back by. I am very short. Most of my friends are around 5'10" to 6 foot, pretty much 6'1" or something. I have a friend who's 6'3" or 6'4", so yeah, there's that. And I am 5'5", so I'm very short compared to them. And I'm also kind of skinny, so everything that kind of holds you back if you want to play sports. Football is downright my favorite sport, and I'm decent at it, but I can't really play for my high school team, or I feel like I can't play because I'm so small. However, if you really want to overcome that, it's another thing where it's you have to work for it. Like, if you're small and skinny, kind of like I am, just start going to the gym. Like, that, there's nothing wrong with going to the gym. And yeah, like, so you go to the gym, you start getting bigger, and boom, you're one of the strongest guys who could go out for the football team. But at the same time, you kind of gotta go and do it. I don't really know how to put this one, but like, you have to go and do it at some point. You can't start too late, because yeah, you just kind of feel like everyone else is already way bigger than me. By the time I am matching up to the size of any of them, I will have graduated college. And yeah, so there are gonna be times like that, so you really gotta just kind of make yourself do these things. And you're also going to kind of have to, alright, yeah, this looks pretty good. Yeah, you gotta overcome some things. Like, first time I went to the gym, like, I didn't start going to the gym till it was way too late, just because I got really lazy. And yeah, you just gotta go to the gym, do your thing. And yeah, I went to the gym, and the big problem about the gym is self-conscious feelings, or not self-conscious, but like your confidence, because you go there and you're gonna see people who are much bigger than you, people who have been going to the gym for a while, and you're just gonna, kind of make you think like, what am I doing here? I don't fit in, I started too late or something. You gotta keep going, or else you will never have a chance to be as big as them. And it really, like, you just kind of gotta overcome it. Like, who cares about, like, if you're pulling like 70 on something and someone else comes on like right after you and is doing like 110 or something, and they're the same age as you, don't feel bad about it. Just keep working hard, and eventually you'll get to that point, and you'll possibly pass that person if your like work standards are better than theirs. So yeah, you've got, yeah, stuff like that. Okay, there was something that I wanted to mention, but I'm kind of forgetting it. This is looking pretty good, at least. Oh, yeah. So, another thing about depression is, like, a lot of times you can feel lonely and kind of like you've lost a lot of happiness in your life. And I feel it's kind of pushing it to the side, pushing your problems away a bit, but at the same time it can be really helpful and make you feel a lot better, so that you can, because you don't want to try and counter these problems while you're like extremely upset. You are really going to want to find something that makes you happy and just keep doing that, or that can just kind of distract you from your problems for a bit. Like, for me, that's kind of video games and like playing football with my friends, because like it's fun playing video games, so I'm having a good time and I'm not really just thinking about these issues in my life. So it just makes me feel good. And then yeah, so you need to find something like that, but at the same time, that can also be negative towards you, because there have been times when I'm out, like, just doing stuff and then being happy, and I just come home and I just realize, yeah, at the end of the day, I'm just upset. Like, that little bit of fun is over, and yeah, so there's that. There was one last thing, I just thought of this. Huh. Okay, got both of those in there. And toss you down. There's supposed to be a block behind that. Don't worry. I'm not stupid. Oops. Yeah, so that's something. And then what was this last thing? Oh, right. So if you have a friend who, is depressed, this is more for people who aren't depressed, but it can also relate to someone who is. Like, if you have a friend or someone, try and be really careful around them, because this is kind of something that happened to me semi-recently. You can just get pushed, like, because you've been just depressed for possibly years. Like, yeah, it's kind of what happened with me. But yeah, there's just, you can be just building up inside of you. You can just keep pushing it off, and that's why pushing it off with, like, other stuff, it can be bad. You just keep pushing these problems off, and eventually they're just so balled up and wound up inside of you that one thing can be, like, if you lose one thing, you can just basically feel like your life is over. So if you have, like, a friend or someone, you just really gotta watch out for that. Make sure you're not pushing them past that breaking point, because you don't want to be the person who does that to someone. And yeah, you gotta be careful, because you never know, because, like, there could be one thing that, even if it doesn't seem like it matters that much, it matters so much to the person that if you kind of come in and interfere with it, it'll just kind of rip them apart inside. And yeah. So there's just a lot of things that you really gotta be. Both people who are depressed and are around people who are, you just really gotta be careful about some things. You don't want to screw up on one thing, because it could ruin someone's life, pretty much. Because honestly, depression can make you do some really crazy things, and you just try to avoid those things as much as you can. So that's why I feel like talking to someone about it is the best thing, because then they know too, and they can kind of help protect you from the things that are gonna push you over the edge, and they can help find things that'll make you happy. And if you're having suicidal thoughts, they can call someone, because you may not be willing to. Like, you're just thinking, alright, I'm done, I give up, and you're gonna do something stupid. So you really, that person can just kind of see that then, and they can go and call someone to stop you before you do anything stupid. And I haven't tried to do anything stupid, and I'm not going to, because I understand that it is not the solution. But for some people, it really can be a lot, like some things can be a lot more hurting on them. I haven't really made much progress here in the past couple minutes. But yeah, so just kind of watch out for some of those things. And there was definitely one more thing that I needed to say. Blanking on what it was. Dang it. Oops. Okay, there we go. Okay, there. Oops, I just pushed him off my bar. Yeah, so just really don't do anything dumb. It's pretty much the lesson here, and yeah. I need a lot of these for the nether hub too, so I'm just grabbing more. The cobblestone walls. And, oh yeah. Don't, like, assume that, like, if someone has, like, it could seem like someone is happy as can be, yet they can be, like, their whole mindset could be pretty just upsetting, and like, yeah, so you gotta, there is, like, you can't really think of a typical kind of person who might be affected, because it could be almost anybody. Like, I know that, like, some people have been, like, you can just seem like you're the happiest person in the world, but as soon as you're behind doors, you could just be kind of a complete mess. So, yeah, don't, yeah. And if you're that, like, so, yeah, if you're a person who knows someone who might be like that, just watch out for them and try and kind of protect them. But also, what you gotta do is, like, if you are that person, don't feel like you are being kind of bratty and, like, dumb for feeling this way, because maybe your family has a lot of money, or you have a lot of money. Just because of that doesn't mean you have to be happy. You could have the greatest family in the world and still just feel like absolute crap. So you just kind of need to realize that, like, if you're depressed, you're not being, like, wimpy and feeling like you're doing something, like you're being, yeah, like you're taking advantage of your life, you're complaining. You really, like, if you feel depressed, you're depressed. You can't, yeah. I don't really know what else to say. Yeah, because this is kind of a, not, I don't really like talking about this topic much. It's much easier for me to do it like this, though, because I'm just talking into a, like, microphone. So, yeah, I don't really have to face-to-face talk with anybody about this, because that's a bit harder to do. And, yeah, so I guess I'll finish this up off camera, and then, depending on how much time we have left, we'll do the rest of the inside on it. And, yeah, there's one more thing. Can't remember it, though. I had it. It was another thing that I thought of during this. Yeah, just, what was it? I'll be able to think of it, and I'll work on this for a little bit longer while I do. Yeah, there's a lot of things that could be going on in people's lives behind the scenes that people will never see. And yeah, that's the problem, is people a lot of the time won't see it coming, so they won't have any way to protect you from harm. And yeah, so don't you really, like, if you feel like you're a person who has been kinda making somebody's life a bit worse, go talk to the person and just make them feel better. Because if, for one thing, like, if things get worse, like, you could be the one who ends up, you could get in a lot of trouble for, like, bullying, anything. So yeah, you just don't want to be responsible for any, like, actions that aren't smart or healthy. You don't want to be the reason that someone does something. Just try to be friends. Yeah. And yeah, I think that's kind of pretty much it for me to say here. I feel like I'm forgetting something though. Yeah, it could, like, there's just, what I really want to emphasize is, like, the one small thing pushing someone over the edge, because that's, like, yeah, like, somebody or something could mean so much to somebody, and, like, even if, like, the person, they barely know each other or anything, that thing could just mean so much. It's just this little last happiness that they're holding on to. And if that gets taken away, that just really could damage someone. So you want to stay away from taking away that last happiness. And if that last happiness is something that's really, like, even less healthy for someone, like, you can try and take it away, but replace it with something. Don't, yeah, you just kind of really have to make sure that people who have, like, these issues have something left in their lives. Okay, so it's like that. Yeah. I just don't want to get kind of detailed my own personal experiences very vaguely, and I don't really want to go into more detail on them because I'm still, like, for me it's very sensitive. That's why I really just needed to talk about this to someone. Oh god, that scared the crap out of me. I think we finished it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so that's just my opinion on all this stuff. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time, I guess, or we'll be back to do the redstone in there. Well, see ya.